So you're getting ready to take your SAT or ACT, but you're not really sure what you should be doing right now. No problem. In this video, we're going to talk about everything you need to do to get an amazing score on your upcoming college standardized test. I'm your instructor. I'm a former Yale and Harvard professor, and we have helped more than 9 million students improve their standardized test scores. You can learn more at our website. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, are you taking the SAT or the ACT? There's actually a huge difference between these two tests, and it's really important that you know which one you're taking because they are scored very differently, and the strategies for each test are a little bit different as well. If you've already taken one of these tests before, great, you probably know which one you're taking again. If not, here's how you figure out which test you should be taking. Well, there's no perfect way to decide. They both have pros and cons. Some people do better on one test versus the other. But generally speaking, if you're a junior in high school, you should probably take the SAT. And if you're a senior, you should probably take the ACT. Now, this is just a general rule. There are exceptions to every rule. So if you're struggling with which one you should be taking, you can always reach out to a counselor at your school or a tutor, and they can help you decide. Okay, so next step. Let's talk about the most important thing you can do to prepare for either one of these exams, and that is to take as many full-length practice tests as possible. Taking practice tests is super critical because it gives you a chance to experience what it's going to be like on test day. These tests are going to be long. They're going to be tiring. You're going to have to focus for a really long time, and practice tests allow you to do that. Now, the best practice tests are the official tests released by the College Board or ASIT. So for the SAT, you want to take either the official SAT or the official SAT-2. For the ACT, you want to take the official ACT. Make sure you don't confuse these with any of the other practice tests out there. They're not nearly as good. Okay, so let's say you took your practice test. What should you do next? Well, the first thing you should do is look at your score. See how you did. Did you meet your goal? That's the first question you should ask. Then you want to look at the questions that you missed and try to figure out why you missed them. Did you miss them because you didn't understand the question? Did you miss them because you didn't manage your time well? Or did you miss them because you didn't have the knowledge you needed to answer the question correctly? Once you figure out why you missed those questions, then you can start to take steps to correct those issues. If you missed a lot of reading comprehension questions, maybe you need to work on some reading comprehension strategies. If you missed a lot of math questions, maybe you need to work on some math skills. Now, when you're taking your practice tests, there are 3 different things you should do. The first is to time yourself. So make sure you're taking the test under realistic conditions. Don't give yourself extra time. That's a mistake a lot of students make. They'll say, "Oh, I got this question wrong because I didn't know how to do it." But really what happened was that they ran out of time and they didn't have enough time to solve the problem correctly. The second thing you want to do is make sure you're answering every single question. Now, for the SAT, there's no penalty for guessing, so you always want to fill in an answer. On the ACT, there is a penalty for guessing, so you only want to fill in an answer if you're absolutely sure. But generally speaking, you want to try to answer every question on every test. And third, you want to make sure that you're filling in your answer sheet correctly. A lot of students make mistakes when they're filling in their answer sheets, and it costs them a lot of points. So make sure that you're paying attention to this when you're taking your practice tests. Okay, so that's how you should be preparing. But what should you be doing on test day? Well, the most important thing you can do on test day is to make sure you're rested. So make sure you got a good night's sleep beforehand. Don't stay up late the night before cramming. That's not going to be helpful. Instead, Make sure you get plenty of rest. On the day of the test, make sure you eat a good breakfast. You're going to need plenty of fuel to be able to focus for several hours. And finally, make sure you're getting to the testing center early. It's really important that you're not stressed out on test day. So make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get there. Now, once you get to the testing center, you want to bring your best self. Be confident, be positive. When you walk into that room, all the other students are going to be nervous. They're going to be stressed out. You want to be the person who's calm. You want to be the person who's confident, who knows that they've done everything they can to prepare. When you're taking the test itself, you want to make sure you're reading each question very carefully. You want to make sure you understand exactly what it's asking before you do anything else. For math questions, always plug in the answer choices. This is an amazing strategy for both the SAT and the ACT that's guaranteed to help you get the right answer. And finally, for the essay portion of the SAT, you want to make sure you've got a strong introduction, a strong body paragraph, and a strong conclusion. We have a ton of videos on our channel that go through the strategies for the essay in much more detail, so make sure you check those out. Alright, let's talk about one of the biggest mistakes that students make when they're taking these tests. The biggest mistake you can make is to try to do something you're not comfortable doing. So if you're not a fast writer, don't try to speed write. If you're not a fast calculator, don't try to do a bunch of mental math. You're going to be stressing yourself out. Instead, do what you're comfortable doing and do your best. If you're struggling to prepare for the SAT or ACT, don't worry, we've been in your shoes. We know exactly what you're going through. So please consider signing up for our free trial. You can learn more at our website. We'd love to be a part of your journey. Thank you so much for watching and good luck on your exam.